Have you ever asked yourself how much money you actually need to stop working? Most people hear the word retirement and instantly think of millions of dollars. They imagine a giant mountain of cash that seems impossible to climb. But what if I told you that the million-dollar target is often a distraction? It is a number designed to keep you working longer than you truly need to. The truth is that retirement is not about a total net worth. It is about creating a reliable stream of monthly income that covers your life. If you understand the math, you can stop trading your time for money much sooner. You do not need 30 or 40 years to build a secure future. You can achieve significant freedom in just 1 decade of focused action. Today, we are going to look at the raw numbers that most banks will not tell you. We will break down the exact amount you need to invest every single month. We will strip away the confusion of the stock market and look at the logic. By the end of this discussion, you will have a clear map for the next 10 years. Let us start by looking at the reality of the situation today. Most people approaching their 60s feel a deep sense of anxiety. They look at their bank accounts and see a figure that feels too small. They hear stories about inflation and rising healthcare costs every single day. It feels like the finish line is moving further away every time they get close. But you are not alone in this feeling of uncertainty. Data from the Federal Reserve shows that many households are in the same boat. The typical household reaching retirement age has around $200,000. On the surface, $200,000 sounds like a lot of money. But when you spread that over 20 or 30 years, it starts to look thin. This is why we must move away from guesswork and move toward precision. To find your freedom, we first have to define what freedom looks like for you. For many people, a comfortable life costs around $3,000 per month. This covers the essentials like housing, food, utilities, and a few extras. $36,000 a year is the target for a life of control. If you have a system that pays you this amount, you are technically retired. You do not need a private jet to be wealthy in terms of time and autonomy. Now, you might wonder how a regular person generates $3,000 a month. This is where we look at the two main pillars of your future income. The first pillar is the safety net provided by Social Security benefits. In the United States, the average benefit is around $1,900. If you are part of a couple, that total can jump to nearly $4,000. This means that Social Security often covers more than half of your base needs. If your goal is $3,000, you only need to fill the remaining gap. That gap is $1,100 of extra income every month. To generate $1,100, you need an investment portfolio. This is where the famous 4% rule comes into play. The 4% rule states that you can safely withdraw a small portion of your wealth. If you follow this rule, your money should last for at least 30 years. To get $1,100 a month, you need about $330,000. $330,000 is a much smaller hill than $1 million. It is a target that feels achievable for anyone willing to be disciplined. Now, let us talk about how to build that $330,000 in 10 years. This brings us to the second pillar, which is the power of compounding. Compounding is often called the eighth wonder of the world for a good reason. It is the process where your money earns interest, and then that interest earns more. Imagine you are planting a small oak tree in your backyard today. In the first 2 or 3 years, the tree is small and very fragile. You water it every day and protect it from the wind and the sun. It feels like nothing is happening and the growth is painfully slow. By year 5, the trunk is thicker and the branches are starting to spread. By year 10, the tree is tall enough to provide shade for your entire family. Your investments work exactly like that young oak tree. The early years of saving feel like a heavy lift with very little reward. You see your balance grow by small amounts, and you wonder if it is worth it. But as the years pass, the portfolio starts to do the heavy lifting for you. To reach $330,000 in 10 years, you need a plan. We must account for the fact that prices will go up due to inflation. If the stock market returns 10%, we should assume a real return of 7. The other 3% is lost to the rising cost of goods and services. At a 7% real return, the math becomes very clear and simple. To hit your goal starting from zero, you must invest $1,900. That is $1,900 every single month for 10 years. For some of you, that number might feel high or even impossible. But remember, this assumes you are starting with absolutely nothing today. If you already have $50,000 in savings, the number drops. With $50,000 to start, you only need to invest $1,300. $1,300 a month is the price of your total freedom. Think about what you spend on a new car payment or high-end subscriptions. Think about the daily expenses that do not add lasting value to your life. Every dollar you save today is a brick in the foundation of your future. If you can reach this level of consistency, the results will be life-changing. The middle of the journey is always the hardest part for any investor. Around year 6 or 7, most people feel tempted to stop or spend. They see a decent balance and think about buying a new truck or a boat. But this is exactly when the snowball is starting to gain real speed. If you leave the money alone, the growth in the final 3 years will be massive. The gains in year 10 can be larger than your entire first year of savings. This is the secret that wealthy families have known for generations. They do not work harder than you. They just let time do the work for them. Now, let us discuss how to make this goal even easier to achieve. There are 3 main levers you can pull to change the timeline. The first lever is your lifestyle and your monthly spending habits. If you can live on $2,500 instead of $3,000, your required portfolio drops from $330,000 to much less. Lowering your expenses is the fastest way to achieve financial independence. It reduces the amount you need to save and the amount you need to earn. The second lever is increasing your primary income or finding a side hustle. We live in a world where you can monetize your skills from your own home. You can consult, teach, or create content that earns money while you sleep. If you can add an extra $500 a month, your path is faster. The third lever is the design of your investment strategy. You do not need to pick the next winning stock to be successful. A simple index fund that tracks the total stock market is often best. It provides broad diversification and very low costs for the long term. When you keep your costs low, you keep more of the returns for yourself. The most important thing to remember is that you must start today. The math of 10 years does not work if you wait another 5 years to begin. Every month you delay is a month of compounding that you can never recover. Take a hard look at your current budget and find the hidden leaks. Automate your investments so that the money leaves your account first. If you do not see the money, you will not feel the urge to spend it. Treat your monthly contribution like the most important bill you have to pay, because it is a bill that you are paying to your future self. Imagine waking up 10 years from now with no alarm clock and no stress. Imagine knowing that your housing and your food are paid for by your system. That peace of mind is worth every sacrifice you make in the present. Freedom is not a dream that belongs only to the young or the lucky. It is a mathematical reality for those who are willing to be consistent. You have the tools and the knowledge to change your story starting now. The next 10 years will pass whether you take action or not. You can arrive at the end of that decade with regret or with results. The choice is sitting right in front of you in your daily habits. Believe in the power of small steps and the logic of the numbers. Your future self is waiting for you to make the right decision today. Thank you for spending this time to focus on your financial health. Go forth with confidence and start building your tree of freedom. The journey may be long, but the destination is more than worth it. Take the first step today and watch how your life begins to transform.